think if Canelo was using the jab effectively, hard, the guy wouldn't have been able to come in because the guy was coming in because he wasn't worried about Canelo's jab. So he got more aggressive and he got brave. If you're not jabbing, he has no defense.
You know, I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. We don't know how your body's going to react.
He's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's going to go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for Crawford will get. I'm picking Crawford to win.
Like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. Well, he was really basic, you know.
A little overrated. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, but I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous, but could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? You know, but those intent.
The boxing world is buzzing. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. 2 generational talents, 1 explosive showdown. This isn't just a super fight. For Canelo, it's a career-defining moment. Mike Tyson warns that if Canelo doesn't use his jab effectively, Crawford will walk right in and take control.
How big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. We don't know how your body's going to react. And you just think, you know, you just going to come up and beat me. We seen it with Charlo, his videos, how he was looking, you know, moving around the ring. And everybody thought, you know, that might work. And we saw what happened come fight night. Crawford is a skillful guy. But, like, who has he really beaten? Spence. After Spence, you know, now all of a sudden he can jump up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo. I don't see it. If I'm Canelo, I would have to make a statement with Crawford. Canelo cannot lose this fight.
Does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can.
If anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I give him, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win.
Teddy Atlas believes Crawford's skill, timing, and ability to adjust will outweigh Canelo's experience. Critics question if Canelo still has the sharpness and stamina of his prime.
And then tell me, who do you feel is best in that attribute? First attribute, best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the 2-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the 2?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring.
His style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know. And I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape. I'm talking about like not 12-round shape. I'm talking about like 16-round shape.
Since his knockout of Caleb Plant in 2021, he hasn't stopped anyone. Against William Skull, he looked slow, reactive, and fatigued. Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes, but he's done it right.
Crawford, he knows that. I've seen him. I've talked to him many times, and I wish him the best. I'm actually very happy for him and Bomac for everything they've done and the big fight that they're getting. You know, in this sport, making it to those fights and making it to those paydays, you got to be happy for anybody that makes it there. So Bomac knows, Crawford knows. Now I'm actually, after Canelo's performance, I'm actually leaning towards Crawford to win this fight.
Why is that? What changed?
Because I know Crawford's he's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's gonna go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for Crawford will get. I'm picking Crawford.
Personally, meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or you know, his skill set. And it, you know, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, you know, it's a win-win. So
you don't think Crawford, you know, gaining that weight, because I saw him, he's pretty big. You don't think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in this fight?
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. You know, the nutrition, the you know, like I said, the training. You know, Crawford, he trains hard. So I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful in September.
And I know you, like we discussed earlier, you know, we talked with your pro debut, and now you're 3-0. Your last fight, July 19th against Blanco, and it was actually your 3rd win by knockout.
Yes.
I'm super proud of you. How are you feeling about your pro career so far?
I'm feeling great about my pro career. I definitely feel like it's off to a great start.
Targeted nutrition, disciplined training, and no loss of speed. Analysts say he's added weight without sacrificing his edge. Crawford doesn't just fight, he adapts. He reads opponents, makes mid-fight adjustments, and executes with precision. His footwork, jab, and ring control are elite.
Thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, well, Roy Jones is Roy Jones, but also Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford. But John Ruiz is not Canelo Alvarez. So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, you know, exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said, you know, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this even as a fighter as myself, as I've gotten heavier in my retirement, I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, you know, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight itself.
He's really good. But Crawford is just so clutch. His conditioning is so good. They're going to be about similar heights. Crawford's a little taller. He's longer. And I think that Crawford's adjustments in fights are so underrated. He is a master adjuster. He finds something in every fight and just goes with it. That last fight, people talk about he struggled. You know what he found that last fight? A simple jab. He just started beating the guy up with a jab. He finds something in every fight. And he don't fight a lazy fight. Canelo, for as good as he is, he hasn't stopped anybody since 2021. That's 4 years. You know why? Because he gets a little tired and he gets like a little bit complacent. He's a power puncher. Anybody that punched that hard don't want to go 4 years without a stoppage. He haven't got a stoppage because he don't have the conditioning and the stamina to push a guy over the edge after he hurt him or after, when the guy's running away from him to still be able to go get him. He don't want to go the distance in all these fights. You think he wants to go the distance with Jamel Charlo and John Ryder and Edgar Berlanga and Triple G at 68? He don't want to, but he don't have that extra gear anymore, in my opinion.
Canelo brings power, experience, and composure. He's fought the best across multiple divisions and knows how to win tough fights. But some believe his legs, stamina, and urgency are fading. Crawford must box the perfect fight.
After really the Triple G fight is when we've seen the slippage on Canelo. And over the last 2 years, it's been immediately apparent. It's been apparent straight away over the last 2 years. Canelo's feet have always been slow. He's always been very slow-footed. So when people are saying, oh, it looks like his legs are slowing down, yeah, they are. They've never been quick, but now they're even slower, which is a problem. And Jim Lampley on commentary on Friday night show was saying that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his legs. It generates power and it helps with his punch resistance. Well, those legs are sliding and that power is diminishing. Canelo hasn't had a stoppage win now since he knocked out Caleb Plant in 2021. And yeah, he's dropped some of these guys, but he's not been able to step on the gas and finish them. He's not been able to go through the gears. His gas tank, you can put that into question as well. And Canelo Alvarez, come July, be 35 years old. So he is, look, Canelo's been around so long and his real prime was in his mid-20s. So we associate Canelo, mid-20s to early 30s. So we kind of associate Canelo with that. I don't want to say ever young, but he is still young, just not in boxing senses. But he's been around so long, 20 years a pro, and he's been at world levels for probably 15 of those. You're going to expect some slippage. And I think in this fight, an opponent, it was very negative, yes, but an opponent who Canelo Alvarez of 5 years ago would have handled, and he did handle him, but you know what I mean, he probably would have put some damage on William Skull.
I haven't seen that Terence Crawford against Canelo in these two press conferences. They're having dinner. They have the presser in Riyadh. They have the presser in New York. That's a weak-ass push by Canelo. And, that is not Canelo. What he did with Caleb Plant, that was real. He slipped him and then slapped him. And that was like, okay. This felt like, hey, social media saying you guys are being too friendly. We're paying you all this money. We're putting the knockout bonus there. Come on, we got a fight to sell. Let's heat this up a little bit. Obviously, they're both great fighters, and they're both coming to win. But I don't want to get too deep into it today. But my thoughts on this, the big picture, like what's looming, the fight to me, because I'm the journalist, right, is an afterthought.
Canelo must remind the world who he is. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Power versus precision. Legacy versus greatness in the making. Who wins? Let us know in the comments.